that's exactly what life is like, though, right? It's like sometimes you got the sharks, the bears, and the wolves. Sometimes it's just the sharks. Sometimes it's just the bears. You know, sometimes it's like mud, like you're in quicksand. Like the well dries up, and now you're in quicksand or something. This piece here that I'm working on is about these guys, you know, first. And then coincidentally, this is like Chinatown of Brooklyn, Sunset Park. So the EMS, this is, you know, the Dragons is their mascot. You know, a mascot's supposed to pump you up and make you feel good and, you know, what have you. So, you know, so that's what this is all about. But it's amazing because it reaches out to the community, because it's also, you know, Year of the Dragon, and it's the Chinese it's the Chinese mascot for the year. So, you know, so there feels like a collaboration. You know, people, I mean, again, I'm a non-Asian person painting dragons in a very Asian neighborhood, and it's a lot of pressure, and I am nothing but sincere, but it's mostly about the fierceness of what these guys do every day. They're the police, they're the fire department, I mean, they're the EMS. So putting me in here is, I only exist in the mural by making sure each color means something, each light has some sort of reflective soul in it, and you know, I can emulate something, mostly fierceness though, which is teaching me back because I need to be way more fierce. So, but this is not what I normally paint, so it's way more challenging. I mean, this is a mural, but it is it's become more of a gigantic painting because I have no team helping me. It's no paint by color. So every day I make. It's just, yeah, exactly. It's a one-woman show. The college intro. Kanye West. Hi, start or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Linda Serrone. I am born and raised in New York. A little bit of a downtown, like City Hall, born in Staten Island, raised in South Brooklyn, Lower Manhattan, summer camps from 6 to 12 upstate New York, Italian American, second generation, best childhood memory, definitely hanging out with a good friend, Gina Esposito, just learning punk rock music and lip syncing before we even knew what that was, and just roaming the city, going to clubs, dressing up, dressing down, blowing kisses on Metro North, coming home at 7 a.m. while people were going to work. Favorite parts of growing up in New York, basically just being able to venture out on my own without even realizing I was on my own. Finding my own way, keeping myself company by starting to draw. I mean, people are not seen at all. You know, I mean, that's the other thing, you know, as far as the community, like everyone recognizes this as Chinese dragons. I did my research, the horns, the spikes, the loose hairs that are going to eventually be on here in gold. I mean, the least we could do is see people, you know, say hello, say good morning, say, do you need help? You know, do you need help? I mean, as soon as, do you need help? And she stopped, you know, and and especially like young kids, man, they you know, what you do outside of your body is the safest way to express yourself. You know, blue hair, piercings, whatever. You're not hurting anyone. You're just being you. And it's important that, you know, people who have been through it recognize it and encourage and keep encouraging it and saying, "Yo, kid, I see you. Like, keep doing it. Keep working it. Keep doing what you're doing." And yeah, I'm a very unpretentious person. I like I said, being on the bottom of the barrel ain't fun, but sometimes I stay down there. Hey Shem, how are you? What's up? This is Money. Yeah. Watch out for that door. Yeah, I made some friends here, so. Yeah. But that's, you know, we see each other, you know, it's.
And you can't say that you don't, you know. No way.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can, you know, you could put your headphones on and disappear. You know, I mean, that's okay too. It's good, you know, self-preservation and all of that's very important. But, you know, if you could say hi to someone just once a day on the train, you might save their life. You might, you know, get them to not be angry to someone else, the next person they bump into, you know. So I see you as really important. Super important. And as a painter and someone who loves to do murals, and this is what I want to be doing, every mural I've ever done is very different because I see the person who I'm working for and the people who are looking at it from across the street and, you know, keeping it pleasant. Yeah, like it's not, I mean, yay for me, I get to paint so large and whatever. I do everything freehand, but, you know, if it's not about the neighborhood, you know, I don't want someone waking up, leaving their house and like, oh, I hate that shit, you know, like, it's nice that they're like, as you're going, they're like, oh, cool, you know, keep going. Yeah, I mean, the last mural I did was the Family Guy style because it faced all this residence, you know, and I kept it really easy and super cute, you know. But yeah, you have to be aware of your surroundings constantly in order to make a difference, really. And, you know, working with youth at the door for like 6 years, that was a big part of my paintings because I related to those kids being from broken homes, not feeling like having any identity, not just feeling lost on the streets. And, you know, and now it came to I see you because I'm an older person and, you know, and I see you, like I see people, I see people, you know. Like this is actually inspired by Life of Tom. He's a performer. He's a singer. I think he's from Harlem or Washington Heights. Yikes. Sorry, but yeah, I went to a performance from him way back, and he's just this is such a beautiful boy. He's such a beautiful boy. He took a picture with me. He goes, "I'll show you how to do it, Mom," because you know whatever. I just hate taking pictures, but yeah. So you know. So this is like sitting on the train, you know, and your child is sitting next to you, coming from the Bronx or the park or the zoo, and then, you know, and here's this beautiful boy like singing and dancing, and this kid is calm because he is no danger to nobody, you know, no danger, and yeah, it's a good piece. It's the beginning of like a lot of things that I'm working on, so.
It speaks a lot of peace. You know, it's soothing. I think a lot of what we do is putting babies to sleep. Like really gives a lot of soothing.
I mean, for a baby to rest like that on the train is like this. It speaks volumes about the environment. You know, we're so, you know, we're like, you know, life is lifing, like you said, coin that. I'm not gonna
no,
take
it's not mine. I can't.
But you said it first here.
We're here in this gallery.
So yeah, life is lifing, and when life is lifing, I mean, her eyes, like I was going to I might still work on the eyes, but her eyes are kind of like here and here, and I notice that when I take pictures of myself. If you ever take pictures of your eye, I don't know, for me, straight on, it's like one goes this way, one goes that way, and I'm like, what is my
I have
brain
a lazy eye too.
Do you?
Yeah. It's like really slight, like the slightest is my right eye.
Oh, okay. Well, I have astigmatism. I don't know if it's this. I don't think that's the same thing.
I have astigmatism too. I think so. Maybe it's not a lazy eye. Maybe it's just astigmatism.
It might. I don't know, but it's it's a strain on your brain though.
Yeah.
It's like I mean I had shingles in my head, and the doctor was like, "You need to go to the eye doctor before it goes to your eye," and that's how I started wearing glasses because they're so stressed. They're working on projects. And this is all ballpoint pen. This is all ballpoint pen. And then this is all graffiti markers and acrylic paint. And this is like silk diamond dust splitter from garbage from a silk screenshot. But her eyes, they're kind of like not thinking the same thought because that's not how moms do. Moms are looking at him, like wondering who's behind him. Like there's like a weird hand on the pole, Like when you're on the train, like you're, who bumps into your shoulder, and so this piece is called "Who Was on the Train That Day," and this actually leads to a story called "Searching for Dominic," and so I'm trying to create. So I'm trying to recreate a memorial so I can say goodbye to my brother. So that's what this is about, My grandpa was raised on a farm in Italy, in Bari. So when he came to America, he moved Park Slope, Italy, Park Slope, Sheepshead Bay, and Sheepshead Bay has like land, so he had a backyard. So I've been gardening since I'm born, and my grandpa taught me everything: how to prune, how to grow the vegetables, how to measure. I mean, I used to actually have to pull out the yardstick, and he'd be like, "Linda, put it this way," And then my mom is just like super, super eccentric with plants and stuff, and knows all the Latin names, and just has a super passion for it, and was a member of the Pitt Society. You could look that up. So it's definitely in me, but mostly like once I started taking over the whole concept of gardening for myself, which you have bumblebees on you, I feel like besides sharing vegetables and stuff from my garden to my neighborhood, which my grandpa always did, but I see that I'm nourishing the bees and butterflies and whatever, so that doing that little bit of part. I mean, I have so many worms in my garden from compost, and and then my neighbor, his garden's doing great because all the worms go over to him, so it's I love being in the dirt. But it's lifestyle, actually. It's lifestyle. From like my family, we say soup to nuts because that's what it's. The dinner table is everything when it comes to family, and and if you start living like that, taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. Yeah,
God.
Exactly. So you can take care of others.
They say you will never understand chaos, but that's a lie. You will never understand love.
Love's really hard. Love is really
I
hard.
would take evil. I would crack the case on evil any day. Love, I'm gonna take a step back. Let me just learn.
Love is challenging because you could lose yourself, It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, you have to be broken, you have to repair, you don't have to break anyone else, but it will happen because you can't make everyone happy. I'm definitely a bit of a people pleaser. I love to make people happy, but it's impossible, and sometimes people hate you more for doing it. I mean, I have a piece of art that is love and passion equals hate. I've gone through that in my profession and in, yeah.
Thank you for that one.
I'll send you the image. But love and passion equal hate. People, they don't like it. They don't like that you work so hard to, exude those expressions. So, and you gotta be careful. Unconditional love to the earth, unconditional love to the food I make, unconditional love to, you know, little children or what have you, but unconditional love to people, my peers, like, you got to have boundaries. Boundaries is love for yourself. I'm just learning that at this age. I don't know any boundaries, and I'm very like non-boundary-esque. Like, I'll just like jump into your conversation and be like, I mean, which is very New York. We know that it's very New York. You are not alone, New York. Okay, we are here with you. We always remind you. You know, my favorite noise is background noise.
I could go to sleep with background noise.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It's peaceful, but yeah, it's love is really hard. I'm learning a lot about love right now, so.
It's hard when people act like they're looking at you and they don't. They just, like you were talking about judgment. That's that's gonna be my ICU installation, The Last Judgment, and inspired by Michelangelo and all, because it's like it's messed up and it's not right. And
I am.
all my eyes are kind of always saying the same thing. I don't think one eye is looking down on the other at all. They're either looking through or past, or internally. Like, I can't wait to see all my eyes up, but I don't think, they're all looking past or through. They're not looking head on, because you never know. You can't look at a moving car. You're gonna get hit.
Ugly.
It's not even that it's too ugly. It's just you just don't know.
That part.
You just don't know. If you see someone coming, you could get a feeling. You could get you could see, but you don't know anything. And that's seeing somebody, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know anything. You don't know what's about to happen. So, try and look through the person, try and look past the person, or if you can afford to make eye contact, do it. But get ready, because you don't know what to expect. My family went from Italy to Park Slope to Sheepshead Bay. The house I live in now, my aunts and uncle my uncle was born in Park Slope, my aunt was born in the house, and my cousins were born in the house, and then my son was born in the house, and so this was a family home, but my grandma died very young, my grandpa moved upstairs, long story short. So when I moved from the basement to upstairs, the lady moved out after 17 years, $900 in rent, my grandpa never raised rent. Anyway, she put up this horrible brick paneling, and Trump was, and I was in my house, like, just, whatever, not knowing I can do anything political. So he was trying to build a wall, right? And I was like, I hate this brick wall, like, in my house, like all this paneling in the kitchen, the dining area, and I hated it. It was like this cream color. And I decided to take it down myself. And underneath was like this really wide walnut wood paneling that my grandma put up. I mean, back in the day, it was really nice stuff, and it actually is pretty nice. I did paint over it, but when I was taken down, I was like, this is not my grandma's walls. This is my grandma's walls. So it became like, this is not my grandma's walls. So I just started like really thinking more about the immigration process, that there is none, not a proper one. I mean, these people are looking for exile, they're looking for peace, they're looking for solace, and they're getting trapped, separated. God knows what these children are going through, what they smell like, what they feel like. Are they warm? Are they cold? Are they being, touched? Are they being, just so many things. And then, we're trying to save the world, but yet we're doing this to children. So what are they supposed to turn into when they're older?
And can you blame them?
No, exactly. Like, can you blame them? I mean, look at the Unabomber, yo. And he was a grown kid before he went to college. I don't know the whole story, but I know that, he was a part of something, so it's, I'm sorry, I'm massive chills right now. I'm not.
No, it's true.
But I, you know what? I'm not political, but I'm a mother. Even before I was a mother, I've always been a nurturing person, because I know what it's like to not be nurtured. So I always, you know, people underestimate me as a person because I am very soft. I'm stunad sometimes, you know. But so anyways, so you know, we make art for the future sometimes. And this again, this is my apology to those children who, you know, are dealing with this right now. You know, these are the parts too, just, you know, just to kind of ground me, that says keep working, because, you know, okay, maybe my moments are not happening right now, that sort of thing. I'm not looking for fame and money, but I am looking for some sort of collaboration of sharing and hopefully, like, you know, vibrating this tender love and care in the right places. Well, you know, like, the work is not supposed to be political. You know, in the army and all of this, which is the reverse of art, is war, and you have humanitarians, and they're supposed to help the people who are in the midst of everything. So I think I would like to think of myself as like a humanitarian. Maybe we need to look up that word a little bit more after this, because I've never said that about myself before. But I think, you know, in the love of art and war, this is kind of a middle ground. I'm not big on protesting as far as being physically there. I mean, I think it's great that people are brave enough and to put themselves out there. I just, you know, I have something in me, I think, when I'm physically present with my own emotions about a topic or a subject. I think I lose control. I could lose control. I could be angry. I could get myself in a lot of trouble. I'm definitely like a rebel at heart. Half the time's not even on purpose. I go against the grain at a natural speed or pace. So the studio is safe for me personally. So making art for people, about the people, it keeps me out of trouble, you know. It keeps me closer to the topic than being on the streets, because I'm not saying, like, I'm just talking about me personally. Like, I want to be either a part of the problem or part of the solution, and if I'm out there expressing what I do in here, then I think I'm going to be a part of the problem, because I'm not logical in person. I really live with my heart, and you know, I'm a big, strong believer of poetry, and you know how those poets live. So, you know, it's safer for me to be in the studio to make work about these things. And it also, I mean, you know, like I used to say, like the Met was like my church. Like I used to go every Sunday when I was younger, that sort of thing. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. And, you know, art is way more than money and what we've all turned it into. But it's a place for prayer. It's a place for understanding and all of that. So I want to be a part of the solution. You know, I want, you know, be great if you know, that's why I paint murals now more than ever. I want to keep doing that. I want actually my work to be on the walls outside. I do make murals now for people, and I'm very much about who I'm making it for, but the goal would be to do a few murals of my actual work in the right places. Because it'll, you know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous territory, you know, talking about immigration. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a politician. I'm not a performer. I'm not educated as much as I'd like to be about it. I keep myself in my own neighborhood. How we treat our neighbors, how we treat our, environment is like the way I'm political, I guess. Let someone go in front of you, say thank you, you're welcome, you engage, hello, good morning. That is as communicative as I could be to strangers, I guess. But this is bigger than me, and this is as much as I can handle it, and hopefully contribute to helping that change happen. I mean, this work, Not My Grandma's Walls, again, it's an apology to the children who got separated from their families. Like, listen, I'm nobody, but I was watching. Like, I couldn't do anything about it. A lot of people couldn't. Like, America, free of, home of the brave, and it's freedom and all, but it's still, you're not free. You're not free. I don't know, some of us don't have the ability or the money or the chutzpah, right? To physically and verbally be out there, protesting and stuff. So this is me, this is my protest, and it's, tangible. So, I mean, again, going back to not doing abstract art, doing art that speaks to anyone and everyone, I hope, someone could see, like, listen, someone somewhere was loving you at the hardest point of your life, and she was trying to figure out how to put the energy out there, and this is what she did for you, even though it's just a drawing, and it didn't change your life, and it didn't do anything to change the situation, but she wants you to know you were thought of, and and she's sorry that it happened. So, studio safe for someone like me. I love to oil paint, but it takes a long time, all the layering, whatever. But I started doing these ballpoint pen drawings, on wood. So this is ballpoint pen and oil paint, which is not a real traditional medium. And let me take these down. These are in progress. These are nothing really to talk about right now. Yeah, so, I can't hear myself, sorry. So these are ballpoint pen on wood panels with oil paint. I love the way the materials look together. The weird thing is that science, right? The ballpoint pen kind of acts out with the primer, so they're turning colors, which is really great because I have a real issue with us being called white and black, period. So I love the fact that there's this natural undertone of color coming through the black ink. It's like a gift.
Yeah.
Magic is happening. Science.
I firmly believe that we are adjacent to scientists.
Yeah, I mean,
They need us as much as we need them.
yeah, I mean, we're social scientists. We're different though. We're different because, it's a different kind of experiment. And if your work is not being seen, you're really not experimenting. You're just closed up. So that's why it's really important. Like, I'm just trying to get it out there because I feel like it could become a little bit of a social science, more so, just integrating, like, basically, drawings. I mean, let me take it back for a minute. One of my biggest influences in art besides the German expressionist art is, you know, the Renaissance, because, or even way before the Renaissance, because the church, you know, people didn't know how to read, they didn't know how to write, they very poor, they were very, you know, stay that way, whatever, and you have pictures that kind of explain to you how to be, what to do. I mean, who walks around with a prayer card, with the, you know, with the gesture on the cover, when you think of that person who looks at a painting of this is heaven, this is hell, like that sort of thing. So for me, you know, my language, my visual language is trying to capture, you know, the people I'm seeing and the expression that I'm seeing, and you know, and I just want people to really see that they're being seen. You know, it's important that I have the anatomy right, and you know, I need for people to see that it's a hand, or, you know, an eyelash even, or a tear, or, you know, whatever, because it's about them, it's about you, you know, it's about all of us. And whenever I draw people, it's always in ink, black or white ink, or blue. I've been doing a lot of blue lately because black and blue are my favorite colors. I have one painting. It was the last painting I made while I was there, and I brought it in because I'm trying to work out an idea. But, this is actually, so this was a woman I actually knew with her children, and I just watched her. She was a single mom, raising her 2 girls. Her sister also worked with me, whatever, in a frame shop, and her kids were so cool. They were just so cool, and I just watched her mother, like, their mother, because I worked with her, be just like the nicest mom and try and do everything she can for them. And so I said, can I have a photograph of you and your girls? And she did. She gave it to me, and I did a really detailed drawing. This is the second painting I did of them, and there's going to be a third. It's going to be a triptych, but it's yeah. So and this led to a body of work that I'm continuously working on, especially being a mom now, called Motherfucker, and MOTHEFUKKR. I haven't like completely, but it's got some connotations from like the hip hop culture and praise about Jay-Z's grandma and Tupac's. You know, like I like to stay connected to these, you know, I'll call them like revelations of, you know, storytelling, because it helps you feel connected, even though you don't come from there, but you know, so I see it, and I did mother and child way before I even met my son's dad and all of that, so, and it's very different. The timeline is super cool to kind of see, but this actual is the first time I decided to paint someone I met, knew, and observed, and yeah. So this was the last bit of Maryland, and then I a year later met my soon-to-be ex and my dad, my kid's dad, and whatever. And I just made Motherfucker because I was like, shit, I'm doing it. I'm feeding my kid. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm painting murals. I'm making art. I'm like, I'm the motherfucker.
You that motherfucker.
I'm the fucking one that they're singing about too. Like I am, and my friends are, and like your mom, and it's like, and just meeting all. This is why like I love STP, because you guys are so young. So it's like, you know, like I like you said, like I could be your mom. You know, so
in
it's
the
like
best way though.
God, yeah, I mean, God bless your mom. You know, so it's just like, but you know, it's the parents, whether it's a mother or father. There's a lot of great dads too doing it themselves, and it's like keeping who you are as a person, mothering a child, and taking that child wherever you go and opening up their doors, even though they don't even know what they're looking at or where they're at. Like as a child, I look at the way my mom raised me, and I hated it then, but I'm like, wow, wow, I was so opened up to so many worlds that I could connect to today. Like I could connect to so many things because of like this like this kind of gypsy life. It's, excuse me, for using that word, but literally I always had a bag packed, and she had to put me somewhere, because she worked. So anyways, she was a motherfucker. My mom cursed like no one's business. She was tough. I'm a softie, and I recognize how hard it is to stay soft while trying to raise your children, to stay real to yourself while trying to raise your children, to not go with the social norms because they're not normal. Like I've learned that they're really not normal. It's being consistent. It's consistently human behavior is a constant period. Human behavior about women, human behavior about children, human behavior about immigration, human behavior about white and black, identifying, all of these things are at hypersensitive situations right now. And I think I just want to lump sum it on like I don't want to disregard the sensitivities of all these layers of what people are dealing with or what wars we're all individually being faced with. But yeah, I just want to be a part of the solution. I want to create some sort of understanding that you are not alone. You're not alone. None of us are alone, like I told you earlier, background noise is my favorite noise. That's just it. You're just not alone. When I was younger and I had more time and energy, I was physically there. I used to teach and I used to hang out and I used to be more a part of something. But you learn to understand your limits too, and I have something to say back, and it takes a lot of privacy and alone time and not socializing to express that, to get that real feeling. I've summed it up with the ICU sticker, which is a drawing of an eye that someone else has, and I don't know, I hope it vibes out there that people whoa, that eye is looking at me, or just looking back at you, looking at me, looking at you. I don't know. It's funny because I don't even realize that I'm doing it because I'm not trying to be combative or whatever. So I hope and I feel like that space is a place that allows me to do that. You know what I mean? I feel I'm hoping everyone in that room understands I'm not attacking them, because I also have a very hard time saying those words. That's why we're visual artists, because we want to put it down in the faces and the eyes and the emotions and what have you. So that's why it's really important I get my work out there, because I need people to see this other side. Because then when I feel I am talking and I'm in that room, the way you saw me, it'd be easier for people to see my collaboration, my part in, trying to be a part of something, So that's cool. That's really helpful, actually. So I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it's like to be by yourself. I know what it's like to be frantic and wondering if I'm being seen, and I don't know, I think I was seen as a kid, but the interpretation, God knows what people thought when they saw me coming, but I just, whenever I see people come, I just naturally want to be open-hearted, open-minded, and just believe in people. I mean, like driving a car, right? I can't believe how much we depend on each other to not crash into each other. And it's like, yeah, it's a set thing of rules. And yeah, some people use their left signal when they're turning right because they don't know the language that well. But like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's, we don't count on each other enough that way. I think when we're walking in the streets, or unless you go to like certain neighborhoods, and then if you don't belong in that neighborhood, you kind of want to represent yourself as a human being that, I'm not here to be invasive, or I'm not here on your turf, or I'm just exploring or wanting to be a part of, this place because I think it's so great, So what was the question? Why is it important to me to express this? Mostly because I just don't want people to feel alone.
It's hard.
Yeah, people don't have faith, in each other. We don't have faith in ourselves. We don't have faith in each other. So, that good morning is dude, it's wow, good morning to you too, and I mean, people will nod at me and I was like, yeah, man, I'm on the right page today, just make sure you give it back. You don't look as weird as you think you look before you left the house. Someone just smiled at you. You felt like there was something about you that was welcoming, so it's a reassuring too. I mean, talk about being seen. That's how I feel like I'm seen most, but just by being on the streets. I mean, lately it's been so wonderful. I feel like I have been seen way more, maybe not in a famous way, not in a, not in ways that help us get better, or help us, get to that next level. But I go out in the world, I leave my house, and I can have on platforms this high and red lips and buns, whatever, because I still do that. And someone smiles at you and you're like, yes, all's good, it's okay, you're gonna be okay today because someone, so it's, and at the same time it's damn, I'm glad I decided to be myself today.
Yes.
I didn't want to hide in my hoodie, and because I do, we all do that. And I loved wearing a mask during COVID. I still do it sometimes because I don't want to smell people's food on the train sometimes. So, but yeah, so yeah, I am definitely seen, and it's actually, I'm seen by the people who I'm reaching out to without them even seeing what I'm giving them. So I guess it's definitely a spiritual thing. I think so, for sure. Actually a gift, not to be corny, but you make yourself known. Don't be obnoxious about it, obviously. I'm usually obnoxious, in a safe space. I feel it is part of who I am on a deeper level. So if I'm obnoxious with you, you should feel very thankful because it means I trust you somewhat. I trust you to be obnoxious in the room, and if you don't take it personally, boom, even better.
Best friends.
Yeah, so I mean that's family, and that's church, and that's just where I want to be right now in life. I want to be in those rooms, and I want to, listen, I was raised in a way where you were supposed to want to go to church, and it wasn't enforced. Communion, confirmation, all these things in the Catholic religion makes you normal in the family, and it keeps traditions going, and I embrace all of it. But it's how you treat people on a daily basis is really being a religious person, and how you and listen, you want to be reckless, fine, just don't drag no one else into it. That's, we all love punk music. We all love, punk is actually the most political, it's actually the most cleanest area of the genre of rebellion. It's a real it's confusing. It's not about getting drugs and fucked up or anything. It actually isn't. but we were raised to think like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want to be punk rock.
You are a punk. And this is coming from a punk.
I know. I was once. I know.
Like, you're definitely punk. You, like I said, you teach by example.
Yeah.
You just are. You live, you breathe, you bleed this shit. You know. You know.
And it sucks because, you know, a lot of people, because you're not out there and you're not known, like you're not bleeding enough or something, but nobody knows what I go through. Nobody. And you know what? It's better that way because I am not out there I actually have a series called Pity Series.
Yeah, fuck pity. I'm not out here for pity.
Well, it's funny because Pieta, which is the, you know, Mary holding Jesus after he's fallen from the cross, that's Pieta, and that's pity. And, you know, we feel bad for him, we feel bad for her. We do know the story, but we don't know the story. And it's, if you want to make a difference, it's better to do your skill set than to constantly be talking about it if talking is not your tool.